Well, we are gonna do another multiple indie palettes, multiple looks. Oh, almost dropped them. I have the palettes here, so I am digging into a couple of new palettes and one that is, I don't want to say an oldie but a goodie because that's not true, but it is a palette that is not brand spanking new. I found it here and I was like, wait, I've been using this one but I haven't filmed with it. I should really do that. These videos is something I started doing on my channel several years ago, and I'm so excited to see more people doing these videos now. I think maybe 2 years ago I started doing these videos, basically a way for me to showcase more indie brands when brands were releasing more and more products every month, because I didn't want to skip some, but I also did not have the time to do dedicated videos on all of them. So this was my way of giving you insight into the new releases. I'm showing you some close-ups, I'm showing you swatches, I'm doing a look, and at the end I'm giving you my thoughts on these palettes after using them, letting you know which one was my favorite palette. But it's also just a way for you to get some inspiration on like just looks, because it is me doing 4 tutorials back to back, and I always try to divide these into chapters if you want to come back again and watch the tutorials and get some inspiration. Because if you're not interested in any of these palettes, this is just 4 tutorials, but if you were interested in any of these palettes, it's also just some swatches and some quick thoughts about like the quality of the palettes. So the ones that we're going to be using today is the Legends of Korra by Lethal Cosmetics. This is the second palette that they did, because in the video, oh, I talk about this in the look. In the video that I did on this collection, I only did a look with the first palette, so I'm also using the second palette. Then we're doing Shadows of Beauty by OPV Beauty. All of these were, no, okay, actually, I'm going to talk about it. All of these were sent to me as PR, and I do have a code with OPV. It is Angelica, and also with DeDe signatures, Just Art. Look at this beautiful like rainbow palette. Super exciting. This one I actually got in PR from Monolith. So this one is from Unearthly, and they do not have affiliate codes right now, but at Monolith you can use my code Angelica, which is a EU or European retailer that sells indie makeup from other parts of the world. If you were interested in checking that out, and if you're living in the EU and you think like, you know, imports and taxes and all of that is a little bit complicated, definitely check out Monolith. It is also available on the Unearthly website. This is the Woeful Whimsy, that is the collaboration with Andromeda. So and that's the palette that I'm wearing right now, which is going to be look number 4. Okay, let's jump into the looks. Don't forget to let me know which one is your favorite. First look is going to be with the Just Art by DeDe signature. I'm very excited because I'm dying to try this shade right here and this shade right here. So I think I'm gonna do green lower lash line going into mint inner corner, and then orange and dark brown on my top lid. I always plan my looks around mattes. I know that's not everybody's way of planning their looks, but it is definitely how I plan my looks. And this is also why I'm wearing a orange lipstick, because I'm like, I want this to feel warm and yummy. So I'm gonna put the orange almost to the inner part, but I'm gonna leave for a little bit of the light mint. Oh, but I love that color. You know, I love a good orange, and this matte is behaving wonderfully. I'm gonna do the dark brown that's called Ink Spill, and I'm gonna put that in my outer corner. And I just want to deepen this up and blend it in a little bit to the orange. Okay, so this is the orange shade and the dark brown shade. It turns into this very yummy orange smoky crease. Can you be an orange smoky crease? Orange smoky crease. So I'm gonna do green on the lower lash line, and then we're gonna meet up with the mint. But I think we're gonna do green in the waterline first, because I kind of wanna, what is this? This is me being in Italy for too long. Listen, people actually do talk like this here. I'm gonna turn into this too. I've always been very like expressive with my hands, but now that I'm in Italy, it's all downhills from here. Okay, so I'm gonna do green in my waterline. This is an old discontinued ColourPop liner. I really feel like good, bright, like just grass green liners liners are like, they're few and far between. I know people have asked me, I'm gonna do a little bit under my eye too. I know people have asked me to do with Cinch, but I'm gonna be honest with you, doing liners, you have to do so many of each color. And as much as we want to have indie brands release other things than palettes, it really sells as palettes. So if you want indie brands to release other things than palettes, we have to like support indie brands, other ventures than palettes too. But yeah, it would be a dream for me, of course, to release colored liners with Cinch, but I don't think my brand can afford as many colors as I want to release where I'm at right now, because I don't know if they would move. And I think I'm gonna start, it's called Evergreen Ink, and I am gonna start by pushing this. Oh, that's so beautiful. Because this one is lighter than the liner. And I mean, technically you could probably do this on like a brown liner and just make sure that the green is really sticking under the eyes. Because for me, if I want it to be super bright and pigmented, I'll do a liner underneath, because I usually have already set my under eyes with powder. Some people prefer doing their eyes first, some people prefer doing their face first. I always prefer doing my face first, even though I know technically I probably would get a better result if I did my eyes first. It's just more inspiring to me this way. And for me, I do my makeup to have fun, and I don't want to like lose that. This is really stunning. I cleaned off, cleaned is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence, but I'm gonna do ink spill again, and I am just gonna pack that on closest to the lash line to make sure that it's like really dark on the lash line and into the inner corner, to really like tie it together with this very intense and saturated lower lash line. Okay, I'm thinking I'm gonna do a pencil brush, and I'm gonna do sea glass, simply because I want to see how much I want to do. Oh, these two together are divine. Look at that. Oh, I love contrast like this. So I'm gonna put this pretty much on the inner part of the lid, you can see here, and I'm gonna carry it up into, not that high, calm down, but into the inner crease too. There is like an almost white in here that I can use to like deepen, lighten it up a bit if I want to. But I'm thinking like this. Oh, maybe not like that, calm down. And then I'm going back, it's called Bare Canvas. And I think I'm just gonna put that in the absolute inner corner and just dot a little bit on the line here and just brighten and sheer it out a bit. You can always use like a black and a white to like create ombres and to lighten things up and just sheer it out if you're having like a pastel moment. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm putting a little bit here, and then I'm like blending on the edge, lighting it up a bit. So I want to try this one because it was this very fiery copper, like a really orange copper. I thought it was so beautiful. And then maybe a little bit of this to like meet up. I think that's what we're gonna do. Let me see if I can find a good brush. So this will be the one. This is the prototype. This is the EO1. So I'm doing Gold Rush. And I did spray this one because I want to avoid fallout. Like, look at that color. That is like so gorgeous. And I'm putting that on pretty much the entirety of the lid that was like bare. Like this. And then I'm gonna put a little bit more of the ink spill, which is that dark color, over here. And then we're doing aqua drip. Same here, I'm gonna spritz it. And then I'm doing that like where these meet, like here. And I'm just putting it on the edge to make sure it blends into that orange. And then I'm taking a bit more of the sea glass. I don't know if you can see anything. And I'm putting that next to it. making sure that they are blended. I put on the Office Siren Half Lashes by Cinch Beauty. I always have my brand linked down below in case you're interested. I didn't go into, okay, I went into this look knowing I wanted something orange. So I put on these earrings that had a little orange, I put on an orange lipstick, and then I was like, oh, these earrings will go with this top. But now that I have the full eye look on, I feel like I've like coordinated this subconsciously even more than I like thought I would. But I really do enjoy it. I think it looks really fun and really just, there's a like a touch of whimsical to your warm neutral look, which I really do enjoy, and this is coordinated beyond my wildest dreams. Love this for me. But I really enjoy DeDe's signature. I think they make really incredible shadows and really impressive shimmers that aren't always multichromes, which I really enjoy with the brand. And because I don't always want multichromes, and especially like the older I get, I've told you this a million times, the more textured or multichrome the eyeshadows get, it doesn't always look as flattering as I want it to look on my lids. And I really think that just listen, can we bring back like shimmers and duochromes and metallics and sparkly shadows that aren't as textured or as multichrome? Because like, I'm gonna tell you, the older I get, the more I appreciate something that has just a traditional shimmer. And I think this looks so incredible, and I'm so excited and really enjoy this brand, and I enjoy this palette per usual from the brand. So you're gonna see the second look now. I don't know what it's gonna be, but you'll find out right now. We're gonna do the OPV Beauty Shadows of a Beauty. I'm just gonna put on a little bit of primer. So I have already swatched this palette. A lot of times when I go into a look like this, I have not swatched a palette going in, because I like forming my opinion. Sometimes I swatch it, but you know, swatches don't tell you everything, but swatches do tell you a lot of things. And what I will say swatching this palette is that this is a talc-free formula. In the EU, a lot of indie brands are switching to talc-free because the legislation is literally going into effect soon, and I do worry sometimes about American indie brands if they're falling behind, because it takes a really long time to perfect a talc-free formula. And I have not seen anything from OPV Beauty in a hot minute. And I will say, this formula, when I swatched it, it does seem, at least the shimmers, like it needs a little bit, it's more like a traditional shimmer. This one that is a duochrome is almost, I want to use that one today because I want to see like, where are we at? But it seems a little bit more of a traditional shimmer formula, and I don't know how people are going to react to that, because people are so used to those like, you know, super special mega shades, and this is more a traditional matte and shimmer formula with a duochrome. So keep that in mind with this formulation. I also am lacking something that's really dark here. I am going to be going in with this one that is called Dream. So for me, this palette definitely has a couple of light options, but it does not have, I mean, you can tell also here that the talc-free formula, it is a little thinner. So yeah, I think I'm gonna use a bigger brush actually. I don't know about this one. And I do think that the formula that OPV Beauty used to have was a really beautiful formulation, but a lot of things have happened since then, and going talc-free is very, very difficult. I'm telling you that right now. It's a super hard formulation to perfect. You have to find a lab that's really good at it. You have to work a lot on it. It's just trickier to produce, especially matte shadows with pigmentation and grip, and just that works layering when you don't have talc in it. So I know a lot of people are gonna miss setting powders without talc, because they are like so good with keeping you matte and keeping you like really smooth and blurred. But I will say formulating eyeshadows without talc is really hard. All of that to say that I do think that these shadows lack a little bit of oomph to them. So I don't have anything dark to add to this look. So I'm gonna do a very simple look, something that I really like. So I'm gonna do this color, and I'm gonna do Diva, because when I swatched these shades, I thought that Diva was the prettiest one, and I was like, I immediately was like, oh, I want to do that, and like a little bit of like a rose gold smoky eye. And then I think I'm gonna do a liquid liner, because I don't have anything dark here, and I think that's gonna look really good. And we also do have a matte white, and I love a matte white, and I'm gonna layer a little bit of the duochrome on top, because that one's swatched sparkly but pretty sheer, and I want to see how it looks layered on. But this shadow I really did like. When I swatched it, I was like, ooh, this is such a pretty metallic with like a lot of like glow to it without being too textured. So I really did enjoy how this one looked. So this is probably going to be a really quick and easy look, but it is because for me this palette doesn't have a lot of mattes that like I would like build together, because I mean I could technically, where do I have Neo 4? I could use a little bit of Star, which is like a peach, and just blend a little bit on the edge, I guess. Yeah, to soften this. That's actually really pretty. I just love working with darker mattes like this. It's just a personal preference. But I do really like the color story. It's giving me, you know, the Huda Rose Gold palette that came out a long time ago? It's like a new version of that, which I don't hate. I'm gonna do a little bit more of, where is my brush here? I'm gonna do a little bit more of Star, which is that like a pastel peach. And I'm just brushing on the edge to soften that. That's actually like a really good shade for that. I do like having a mix of light and dark shades, and this palette definitely has light shades and several of them, and I do really enjoy that. So I'm gonna use Dream under my eye too, which is that burgundy shade. Oh, I might do a pencil brush actually to get a little bit more color. But yeah, I just wish I had something darker. Even like a matte black would do well in this palette. So this is the duochrome that I've been talking. Oh, this is the pastel, the Star one that I've been using. So this is the one, it's called Pride. So when I swatched this, as you can see, it's pretty sheer, but it has a beautiful sparkle to it. And I just want to see if we even can layer it. A little bit, but yeah. Again, I think that this shadow needs a little bit more oomph because it is a little sheer. I think, unfortunately, that these are shadows that would have made us very impressed in 2016, but I think in 2026, I think we need a little bit more than this. Something this palette does have that I really, really enjoy is a matte white. You can see it's up there. Let's see if I can somewhat clean off this brush and put a little bit of that. I love a matte white inner corner. That's a pretty nice white. I do like that a lot. I think a matte inner corner it brings a level of just brightness and an unexpected element to a look that's pretty classic, like this one. I mean, that's really pretty though. I mean, I can't deny that is a pretty look. Let me see if I have a black liner. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a wing. I don't know if I want to do, I think I might do a little bit in here too. I think so, and just connect a little bit. mean, I think I'm gonna leave the liner like that, but do you see how much that liner is bleeding? I'm pretty sure this is the Hindash liner. That is bananas. Do you see that? That is no bueno, but I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna put on like a lash, get everything done. I think this will be a good look, but like, what is that? I look like Frankenstein's monster. Don't get me wrong, I do think that this looks really good. I mean, the makeup looks good, it looks blended, it looks cute, there's not textured on the lids, but at the same time, again, I don't know, and I say this because, like, listen, I love indie brands. I will always be on the side of indie brands, but first and foremost, I am on the side of you, the viewers, the consumers, and I do think this one is giving 2016 and not 2026. But with that being said, if you have missed that, if you have been wanting more, like, I don't want to say simpler formulas, but something that is like not what we're seeing today, this will be a little bit of a blast to the past. But I also do think that you can make something a little bit more pigmented, a little bit more substantial, a little bit more impactful in this day and age. But it also depends on like formulations and preferences. Maybe this is exactly what OPB Beauty wanted to do. Maybe this is exactly the kind of looks that they wanted you to create, because again, I'm gonna wear this for the entire day. I can promise you that this will not crease on me, because this definitely feels like formula that will not crease on me. So, I mean, it looks good. Nobody's gonna look at makeup and be like, what is this? Again, I could probably have done something similar with things I have in my collection. It's not bad, it's just not as good as I'm used to my favorite indie brands doing. I hope this makes sense, but I'm gonna wear this for the rest of the day and you'll see the third look right now. So when I did my video on the new collection by Lethal Cosmetics with Legends of Korra, this is their collab, I only did a look in that video with the first palette, like one of the palettes. I only did swatches of this palette. So I thought in this video, I really wanted to come back and do a look with this one as well. So I'm gonna do something purple today. I'm wearing a little bit of a lavender cheek together with a gray lips, and I'm thinking I want to do this one, and I think I'm gonna skip this one that's a little bit more on the pinky side, and I'm gonna do this one, and I want to show how this one looks. So it is like a mint to a purple duochrome, but it kind of looks like just a sheer topper, purple topper on the lid, and I want to show you what that one looks like. And I also did bring out the Cupid's arrow in, what is it actually called, a lilac from Nabla, one of their newer pens. You see I've been using it a little bit, but I wanted to use that one too. So I am gonna start with Dark Avatar, and then I'm gonna go into Northern Spirit Portugal. Portugal. If I could speak. So I'm gonna start with Dark Avatar, and I'm gonna put that out here. That is pretty. And I think for this look, I'm actually gonna cover my entire lid with the purple matte to act as a base for that topper, because I think that's gonna give the most fun and best like look of it basically. I really did enjoy this collection. I thought it was such a fun collection. I still have not received, I did talk, I got a little bit fogged. I did talk to Lethal Cosmetics, and they were gonna send me the blush lighters that haven't come out yet. I think I'm gonna do like a reel of those when they come in, but they still have not arrived yet, but I'm so excited to be using them. This shadow does have a lot of fallout in the pan, but it also is very pigmented. I don't know, is this a talc-free formula? Yes, right? Yes, so this is a talc-free formula. I think at this point, because the EU is about to ban talc in makeup, I think all EU brands, and a lot of American based or other places as well has started, because they want to be, if you want to be on the European market, you gotta follow the European rules, or the EU market I should say. And I think that most brands at this point have switched their formulas, and the brands that haven't are gonna have a little bit of a tough time, I think, in the future, because developing a talc-free formula that's good does take some time. So I do hope, because I'm always rooting for all the indie brands, but I'm really hoping that most of them, if not all of them, have this one in development, because I would hate for them to have to pull out from the EU market. So I think I am gonna do the exact same color under my eyes too. Ooh, I'm really liking how that is looking. And now we're gonna go into the lavender, the Northern Spirit Portal. Why did I say it like that? Portal. I can't speak. I think I'm gonna start on the lower lash line and just... Ooh, I do like that. Actually, you know what I should do? I should use the pen in my... You can see this one is even more like periwinkle. Okay, that's really pretty. I'm gonna put that in the waterline too, but I'm just gonna... Ooh, it actually did become deeper. I need to put it a little bit here too, because it did become a little deeper. Okay, now it's time to put that color on the lid. Ooh, I'm really liking that color. And I like that they gave you one option that was more like a true purple, and then one that was like a little bit more pink. So you can choose which route you want to go. And I'm also going to be blending out here, just on the edge. So I used that liner in my waterline too. I mean, this looks, you got eyes. This looks great as is. Like, it looks so good. And with this lipstick, everything looks so great. I kind of want to use a little bit more. I was using the Fearless Fig by Sinch. I mean, the perfect blush. I kind of want to use even more and just really go for it, because I was using it together with a warm highlighter to like morph it a little bit. But yeah, I think I'm gonna just do even more draping with the lavender blush out here. I look like a villain. I look like a villain, and I am so excited. Like, who is this? Okay, you might think that I'm gonna ruin the look by putting this one on, but I think it's gonna be so cool. So I'm gonna do it on a flat brush. This is a Sinch EO1, so it is tapered. You can see it's not super flat, so it really picks up these more textured shades and just picks them up on the bristles, so you get more. And I am going to spray it. I'm actually going to use the Lethal Cosmetics spray. I've been loving this. You can see I'm halfway done, both for my face and for spraying shadows. And I am going to spritz this, and I'm going to put this in the middle. Like, look at this. You can tell there is like this purple lilac thing going on. Very excited. So I'm not gonna put like too much. I'm literally just gonna cover the lavender part of the lid. And I'm gonna go back in with the Northern Spirit Portal, and I'm gonna put that on the edge here and blend it, because we want it to be a little as seamless as possible. And then same with the Dark Avatar on the edge. And I always blend in my shimmers. I think that makes a difference. I'm not saying my looks are perfect, but I think that that makes a difference for the looks. So we are going from this to this. I think both looks are great, but I really am enjoying that little shimmer moment. I actually think that that looks so good. Okay, slick back bun it is, because I could not deal with my hair today. My hair was, you know, it's that kind of stage where it's like some dry shampoo will fix it, but I don't feel like it. I just want to do the bun and be done with it. I do like it though, and I really like how this look. I really like how this look came out. I love the lilac on the temples together, because I feel like it really, again, gives that like, you know, I'm always looking for a slightly like a man repeller look. I feel like this is giving my villain era. I'm in my villain era. Really enjoying this look, really enjoying this palette, just like I enjoy the other palette. If you want to see a look with the other palette that is the more like aqua, green, mint palette, absolutely beautiful. That was in the video that was the dedicated review to Lethal and Legends of Korra. So that video is already live on my channel, but I'm excited that I was able to come back and do a look with this one, because really enjoy it. Think it looks beautiful. You're gonna see a fourth look now. I have no idea what that's gonna be, but you'll find out right now. We're gonna do the Unearthly and Andromeda palette. I did get this one late. I bought this one myself. This is not PR. I bought this one myself from Monolith. No, not true. I got credits from Monolith. So I bought this from Monolith with credits. So I did get this in PR, but from Monolith. You can always buy Unearthly at Monolith. I'm just trying to, like, you know, figure things out, because I want to be transparent. So I adore Andromeda. They are one of the most amazing people I have met. And they're so cool and so fun and so sweet. And I also love Unearthly. I love the brand. I love the owner. And I'm so excited about this collab. As you can tell, I've already used it, but since I was a little late on this one, I didn't do a video on it, but I wanted to do a look, because I thought like this would be perfect for that fourth look, like something that like I've had and that I've enjoyed, and now I can do a look here, because for me, makeup is my hobby, and for that reason, and the reason why I'm not doing YouTube full-time, I also am using one of the liquid lipsticks from Unearthly. This one is in Gravebound. It's like a taupe, like a slightly cool tone taupe, on me at least. I don't know if this is still available, but I do love the liquid lipsticks from Unearthly. I think they have a really beautiful formula. So I try to remember that not every time you do your makeup, you should film it. Because that's the whole point about having a hobby, is to not always track it and to not always monetize on it. So one of the things with me, with not being a full-time YouTuber anymore, one of the things I try to remember is that this is supposed to be fun. If you don't feel like filming it, if you don't feel like taking a picture of it or doing swatches, that is okay. You will get to reviewing it one way or another in the end. And I did. Right now, Unearthly does not have any affiliate codes, but Monolith does, and you can use code Angelica over at Monolith. I think I probably, hopefully, talked about this in the beginning. So what I want to do, I should have thought about this a little easier. I want to do this quad here, and I want to put some white in. I really, really love this. It's like a peach, like multichrome, and I always love doing those shades, but I think I'm gonna use this quad just to be a little bit different for me. So I'm gonna start with fairy floss and just a very fluffy brush, because I wanna put that as a transition shade, but I wanna start with it. This is usually not the kind of brush that I would use for color like this, mainly because it almost sometimes goes on a little bit like patchy, but this is the perfect blending out brush or using a sheer layer of a color, because it's so like fluffy and poofy and beautiful. So I'm just, it's an EO3 by the way from Singe, so I'm just putting a little bit of the purple out here to be like a transition shade for the twister, which is like a dark cool tone brown. I'm also going to get my nails done today. Can you see how much they've grown out? It's crazy. This is, yeah, the last video I'm filming with these nails, and I'm gonna film more videos this week before I go on my vacation. So I don't know if this other videos will probably go up before this one, but I don't know what I'm doing for my nails as I'm filming this. I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. I'm thinking about maybe painting them myself because I have so many nail polishes that I love. So I'm thinking about maybe just painting them myself. So this is going to be the color Twister, which is that dark toned, but that like dark taupey cool tone color. And I am just going to do a little bit in the outer part of the lid and the outer corner just to like meet up with the purple. I'm not going to do too much or too dark. I say that now. I always say that and then it ends up being so much. But I feel like I want to keep it something like this. Like, you know, I want to have some depth out here, but I also don't want it to go like overboard. Maybe like something like this. And I'll go over with a little bit of the purple. Okay, I did the purple and the dark gray taupe brown under my eyes too. And I put the taupe kind of like far because I want to meet up. Maybe we can do that first with the taffy, which is the more minty color. I'm gonna put that here, not in the inner corner, but in like the inner. Oh, that is really cool. I have a feeling that these are gonna look really good together. And like I said, I want to use the white. That's really cool. The white is called Fog. It's such a good name for a white shade. And I'm gonna put that in the inner corner and just drag it a little bit in to have something to blend the mint into, because I'm gonna put that in, of course, the inner part of. Okay, that is so cool. I am loving that. This is not the right brush. Here we have one, but it is too dirty to save. So this is taffy on an EO4. You can see that's the prototype. And let's put that in the inner part of the crease. And a little bit, just a thin layer on the lid, because I don't know if the shimmer, I haven't used this dark shimmer yet, so I don't know if this dark shimmer is gonna cover the lid or not. I've only used the light shimmers because, you know, I'm more a light shimmer kind of a girly. Okay, that's really cute. Actually, I might use the light and the dark shimmer. That might be cute. I'm gonna use a little bit of Fog to just blend on the edge here because, you know, I love a light look and I just want to carry this into my hood here and just soften the edge and lighten this up. And I'll just blend with the fluffy brush. Again, this is perfect for softening edges. Okay, let's go in with an EO1. I'm gonna clean this one off and I'm gonna do Bitter, which is the dark shimmer. And I'm gonna spray this because I want this to stick to the matte that I have on. And this is gonna be more of a like a purple warm base with like a green blue shimmer, right? Yeah. Oh, look at that. It's like even a purple to a green with a warmer base. Okay, that is perfect. I'm gonna put that here in the middle. And I think I'm gonna just use a little bit of that light shade that's called Jawbreaker. I'm gonna show you in a bit. And I'll put that on the edge. I'm gonna use a little bit more of Twister, the dark shade, just to blend the edge. You know, I always do this because I don't like when there's like a very stark edge between a shimmer and a matte. And I'm gonna use the EO1 again. So this is Jawbreaker. It is this one here, like the lighter shade. It's like very, very sparkly. There's a lot of like multicolored sparkles in here. And I think I'm gonna put that just on the edge, like just here. Oh, look at that. I can meet up with the white and make it even more. Okay. I have an idea. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use more of Fog and I'm going to meet up with that white shade into that super light shimmer and even lighten up the mint even more and create this beautiful contrast where it goes from really light to really dark. I really tried to do a look that is like maybe not the look you immediately think about when you see this palette, but still it is literally a quad that's like laid out for you. but I do think that this look is really cool. I'm actually going to use the lavender liner from Prada. I'm going to use that in my waterline. But isn't this like so cool? I really love it. Oh my god, I've been sitting in this makeup look for like an hour playing games on my phone because that's what I was feeling like. But I really love this makeup look. Where did all my tan go? It could be that I haven't spent any time outdoors. It could be. I was just looking at myself in this top and I'm like, why am I the color of the top? What happened? Clearly I need to be outdoors a bit, but I love this makeup look and I'm so excited that I was able to come back and do a look with this palette because again, this palette was released this year, so it's not an old palette, but I'm super excited that I was able, and again, isn't this the whole point of these videos, to just do looks with indie palettes, whether or not they're new, right? Isn't that the whole meaning? Really do enjoy this one. Oh, let me go get the other palettes and we can talk about them, you know, together. So I always love DeDe Signature. The Just Art palette is beautiful. I love this color story. Is this my favorite? I don't know. I honestly think that this might be my favorite. And it's also because I love the shimmer formula from Unearthly. It's one of those shimmer formulas that are very sparkly and very beautiful without creasing. I know she's been experimenting with different formulas in some other palettes, but at least the ones that I have this beautiful sparkly formula that doesn't crease, and I really love that. So maybe this, if this had been the other palette, so this color story is beautiful. I like the other color story even more, the one that is like the, I'll see if I can remember and pop it up, the other one from the Korra collection. If that one had been here, that would have been my favorite because I think that color story is beautiful. But I think this is my favorite. The DeDe is number 2 and this is number 3. Had this been the other palette, this one would have been number 1. And then the Woeful Beauty, again, I don't hate this color story. It's a little bit too neutral for me, but there's something about this formula that just isn't my favorite. I did enjoy the look that I was wearing. I wore it all day. I had no problems with creasing, like I said I wouldn't, but it's just not the kind of formula that I'm looking for in 2026. It is just a not as pigmented, not as interesting shimmers. I'm not even looking for special shimmers, but I am looking for more sparkly shimmers than this. It's just giving me a flashback to a formula that was more prevalent when I started doing makeup YouTube in 2015. So nothing against the color story or the brand, or even you if you are looking for a formula like that. It's just not my absolute favorite formula myself. All the details about these are going to be in the description box down below, so don't forget to check that out before you leave. I hope you had a great time here. Let me know which one is your favorite, and I will see you soon in a new video.